welcome back, guys. So, we were talking about the mechanism of necrosis. So, let's start with it. So, now let's start with the hydrolysis. So, now what is the hydrolysis? Actually, as we know that whenever our tissues in our body get injured, so whenever whenever a group of tissues in our body gets injured, no matter what the cause is, that damaged area of our body starts to release different chemical mediators. In all that mediators, what they do is they attract different immune cells to that area of injury. So same is the case here. The tissue that are undergoing necrosis, they release different type of inflammatory mediators. In that inflammatory mediators attract different types of immune cells, and that immune cells reach the area of the injury or area of the damaged tissue, and they start to digest these damaged cells. That process is called the hydrolysis. Then what happens that we know, when all of these processing are carrying on, cell membrane integrity finally is lost. Now the cell components get released into the extracellular area, and that would damage the surrounding cells and elicits the inflammatory. It's very important that necrosis elicits inflammatory process, while apoptosis does not elicits. So what we have talked about, what is the mechanism of necrosis? So first, because of the ATP deprivation, the proteins start to undergo denaturation. In that denaturation, triggers the autolysis, hemolysis. Then hydrolysis happens, and then finally there will be inflammatory response. So that's the mechanism of necrosis. Now next is the morphology. Under light microscope, it takes several hours for the necrotic changes to manifest. Okay, and that we will see in detail when we will talk about different types of necrosis in our next video. So the two important point are like moth-eaten appearance and myelin figures. So what is the moth-eaten appearance? As the cells are undergoing necrosis, their organelles start to what we can say, they start to denature. So they disorganize, and that area of the cytoplasm appears as the moth-eaten appearance, and when we dye that necrotic tissue to see under the light microscope. The second is myelin figures. So what are the myelin figures? The myelin figures are actually the phospholipid membranes of organelles and of the necrotic cells that fold themselves, and they appear as the folded bodies that we call as the myelin figures. These myelin figures, either they are removed by the macrophages over time, and if they remain for the long period of time, they persist at the era of necrosis. They can undergo the calcification. Under electron microscope, there will be some brain discontinuation in swollen mitochondria with dense amorphous bodies formation in amorphous masses of denatured protein in the cytoplasm of the cells. Now with electron microscope, we can also see the different types of nuclear changes. These nuclear changes are the way in which the nuclear undergo disintegration in the necrotic cells. So there are three ways: the cherolysis, the pycnosis, and the kerorexis. So the enzymatic digestion obviously is happening all around in the cytoplasm of the necrotic cells, as we talked about, when the lysosomal enzymes get released into the cytoplasm of the necrotic cells. So what they do is they also digest in several DNases and RNases. They digest the genetic material. So the nucleus will also disappear. So cherolysis, what happens that we see that nucleus appear as less and less basophilic under electron microscope. Eventually it fades. Okay, in pycnosis, what happens, the nucleus becomes more and more condensed, leading to smaller and smaller dense material. So we see it as becoming more and more condensed, and eventually it will just disappear. In kerorexis, the nucleus first condenses and then breaks into small fragments. So all these are the changes that we see in nucleus under electron microscopes. So in our upcoming video, I will discuss the different types of necrosis. Okay, I hope that it helps. It helps.